So the first topic that we are going to discuss today is laws of inheritance, which is proposed by Gregor John Mendel. He is known as father of genetics. We'll have a short story of Gregor Johansen Mendel. In the year 1866, Mendel published his experiments. Okay, that experiments were termed as experiments in plant hybridization. And this became the foundation of laws of inheritance. Unfortunately, the work of Mendel was completely ignored by all the scientific community till 1900. See, he has proposed in 1866, more than 34 years. His laws were actually not revealed to the world. His theories were rediscovered after his death. Rediscovery of Mendel's laws by three different scientists, and Sutton and Bovary also proposed some laws which were actually having some parallelism. We can say parallelism means their theory was somewhat matching with Mendel's theories. Okay. In 1906, that is 1906, Bateson, he coined the term genetics. Altogether, I mean to say that the theories or the laws proposed by Mendel in the year 1866 were completely ignored till 1900, more than 34 years. Later on, many theories were correlating with Mendel's observations. In the year 1910, Johansen, he introduced the word, he coined the word gene. Here actually the word gene has been incorporated in all the studies of genetics. Now we say alleles, genes and all these things for explaining many things. Even for explanation of Mendel's theories we use the term gene. Okay, we use the term allele and all. But at the time of Mendel's discovery, there were no such terms like genes and alleles. Please remember, the theories of Mendel which we are now learning is actually by incorporating some terms like genes and alleles, which were not there during Mendel's period. Mendel called these characters as factors or character, and this was later termed as gene. And later, we also use the term allele. Many other things were incorporated in these theories. Mendel's experiments were based on 7 characters of garden pea. Garden pea is also known as Pisum sativum. These are the 7 contrasting characters which were discussed in all the Mendel's theories. 7 characters. First one is seed, round, wrinkled. Color of cotyledon, yellow, green. The flower, white, violet. Pod shape, that is full, constricted. Pod ka color, yellow, green. Now come to the stem. Characters of stem like axial pods, that means axial flowers. टर्मिनल मतलब ये इसके एंड में आपको फ्लावर दिखेगा. Then size, that is long, or we call it as tall. Short, sometimes we call it as dwarf. Now we will see the Mendel's laws. Law of segregation. Second law is law of dominance. Third is law of independent assortment. The first one is law of segregation. According to Mendel, he called genes as factors. He said that the factors are found in pairs. Paired condition is, for example, let us take these are 2 factors controlling a character. At the time of formation of gametes, pair gets separated. Here he calls it as segregation. If I take 2 such gametes at the time of fusion, when they form zygote, this paired condition is regained. He called this as law of segregation. Every reproduction, factors get segregated during gamete formation and reunite, regain their paired condition. in zygote formation. Take any character, suppose tall. There will be a pair of factors which are controlling tallness. Again, if we take another character that is short, there will be again a pair of factors which are controlling short also. Short and tall are variety of same character, height. This is a crossbreeding, and here only we consider one character, that is height. If only one character is studied, then such cross are known as monohybrid cross.
He crossed a tall plant which is pure with a dwarf plant, and in the first generation he expected a medium heighted plant, but to his surprise he got all the plants are of tall.
This is first generation. We call it as F1, first generation. Again, when he self-pollinate these plants, in the second generation, 75% of plants which are tall and 25% of plants which are short or dwarf. Now we'll see the logic. If a tall plant is crossed with a dwarf plant or short plant, we know there are a pair of characters here as well as here. When they form gametes, these characters will get segregated. If we cross these two together, again they will regain their paired condition, as law of segregation says. If we use logic here, it should have been a medium heighted plant or moderate heighted plant. Why? Because एक tall plant का एक character का एक copy इधर आ गया, shortness character का एक copy आ गया, तो ये plant should have a moderate height. That is what logic says. But to his surprise, all the plants were tall in first generation. Okay, let us go to the second generation. When we take the first generation plants which are tall, appear to be tall, and when we self-pollinate them, in the second generation we are getting short plant. In the second generation we are getting tall plant as well as short plant, but short plant is of 25%, which means actually the character for dwarfness or shortness is present in first generation. First generation में shortness का character है, but it is not visible to us. हमें वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. वो फर्स्ट जनरेशन में है, इसका प्रूफ क्या है? When we do first generation self pollination we are getting short plant. ये एक प्रूफ है कि फर्स्ट जनरेशन में शॉर्टनेस है, बट इट इज नॉट विजिबल टू अस. T, capital T, he represented pure tall. Small t, he represented pure short. He said that these are actually factors or alleles. Now we use alleles. He say only factors. At the time of gamete formation, they get separate. One type of gamete is produced, that is this kind. Only one type. Here also only one type. When we fuse these gametes to form zygote, we will get a condition capital T, small t. This is the condition in first generation, but it appears to be tall. Such two plants self-pollinated. Combination like this, capital T and small t, one combination. This capital T with this capital T, another combination. This small t with this small t, again one combination. And here we can see one more combination, that is this t with this t, that is capital T, small t. So ये चार combination हो सकता है in the second generation. These combination when we see externally, ये plant short है, बाकी सारे plant tall है. Learn two things. one is external appearance, which we call as phenotype. Its internal genetic condition is known as genotype. According to him, the pure tall is capital T, capital T. But first generation tall is not pure tall, which is actually capital T, small t. And he said that when such condition arises, the factor capital T is masking the effect of small t. He said that capital T is dominant over the small t, which is known as recessive. Plant capital T, capital T, dwarf plant small t, small t. We can explain the cross by using a square, and this square is Punnett square. We already discussed about Punnett the scientist. He actually proposed this. Gametes यहाँ पे दिखाएंगे कैपिटल टी दूसरे पेरेंट का गैमेट इस साइड में दिखाएंगे अगेन स्मॉल टी हम गैमेट्स को हमेशा एनसर्कल करेंगे एंड उसके कॉम्बिनेशन अगर ये कैपिटल टी एंड स्मॉल टी टुगेदर आता है so we can say it is capital T small t. Again, if you take any combination here, we can say all the combination here forms capital T small t. So all these capital T small t appears to be tall, which is a proof that the character capital T is dominant over small t. How this is being proved? By taking second generation का भी Punnett square उन्होंने बना के देखा. सेकेंड जनरेशन का Punnett square में एक कैपिटल टी है एक स्मॉल टी है. अगेन सेल्फ कोऑर्डिनेशन सेम प्लांट का कैपिटल टी स्मॉल टी. व्हेन दे कम टुगेदर कैपिटल टी स्मॉल टी. Okay, if these two comes together then it is small capital T. It is small t, this and this together, and this together it forms capital T small t. So here we can see the plant tall, this is also tall, this is also tall, whereas one kind that is short. This short is actually formed from tall plants. यहाँ पे दोनों parent tall है, एक दोनों पेरेंट्स एक शॉर्ट प्लांट जनरेट हो रहा है. इसका मतलब इस टॉल प्लांट में ये शॉर्टनेस का कैरेक्टर कहीं ना कहीं था, बट इट वाज एक्चुअली मास्क्ड. मेंडल सेड हियर दैट फॉर एवरी कैरेक्टर or for every factor there are two copies. These two copies, if we see very carefully, at some instances, sometime one copy may be dominant and other may be recessive. If a dominant and recessive come together in an individual, then the expression is, or the phenotype will be always of dominant. And a recessive character will only express when both the copy of factors are of recessive. If both are recessive, then it is expressed as recessive character. Here we bring the concept of homozygous and heterozygous. As we discussed earlier, alleles can be of homozygous. If homozygous, the condition means both the alleles are of same kind. This is homozygous, this is homozygous. Okay, in the homozygous condition, tall plant and short plant will be explained like this. In the heterozygous condition, that means one capital T and small t, the expression is controlled by dominant allele. This is what Mendel said, and he explained through his breeding experiments. So here there are two ratios. One ratio is phenotype ratio or phenotypic ratio. Phenotypic ratio में 3:1 आएगा, 3 tall is to 1 dwarf. Genotypic ratio में 1:2:1 आएगा. That means ये एक जीनोटाइप है, ये एक जीनोटाइप है और ये एक जीनोटाइप है. So 1:2:1, that is genotypic ratio, and 3:1 is the phenotypic ratio. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.